Whatever subject you are filming, the classic concerns of composition, that is, what is in your shot and where it is placed within the frame, are as important to shooting video as they are to photography and painting. Balance, perspective, shape and form should all be considered with each shot. It's good to remember that you will be telling a story with your program, and where you decide to put the camcorder, or how close or wide the shot you decide to use, and what you decide to film, will all influence what your audience understands from the pictures you are showing them. You can tell a very different story from filming the same event from different perspectives, or from what you decide to favour and what you choose to ignore. Framing your shot well is very important. Good framing will largely go unnoticed by your audience, but a badly framed shot is instantly recognisable. Trust your eye on this, as almost everyone has a natural ability to compose a well-framed shot, really without trying. As much of what you shoot will include people, it's a good idea to become familiar with the 5 main standard types of shot size, which will be the most comfortable for your viewers to watch. The first is a wide shot, or establisher as it's sometimes called. This type of shot gives the audience an awareness of the scale and space of an area, or an idea of where they are before you begin to pick out detail. If 2 people are sitting in a room together, talking to each other, your wide shot or establisher will show the 2 of them in frame together in order to show their position in relation to each other before you begin to film them closer in frame. The second type of shot is a long shot. This type of shot shows a person from head to toe. Be careful with headroom here. Too much space above a person's head in the frame will look strange, as will too much space between the person's feet and the bottom of frame. The third type of shot is a mid shot. This type of shot shows your subject from just below waist level to just above the top of their head. This type of shot can be used for formal interviews. It gives the viewer a sense of respectful distance from the subject while still making them the prominent figure in the image. The fourth type of shot is a close-up and can be used to draw the viewer nearer to the action or the words that are being said. This type of shot shows your subject from mid-chest to almost the top of their head and is ideal for most interviews. The last size of shot is the big close-up, which can be used when you're filming an interview for the more intimate moments. The shot cuts through the top of the person's head and also part of their chin. Remember, it's better to lose more of the person's headroom than it is to lose too much of their chin from the frame. A big close-up can also be used to pick out detail within a scene. By using it, you're telling your audience what they should be looking at or focusing their attention upon. A combination of all these shots allows an editor to cut a scene or story together. A good guideline to follow for framing your shots well is the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds means that you should put horizontal or vertical lines, such as the horizon or someone standing in your picture, along an imaginary line that divides the frame into thirds. This is far more interesting for the eye. Don't place subjects right in the middle of the frame simply because they're important. It's far better to have the horizon either 2/3 from the top of the frame or 2/3 from the bottom. And if you are filming someone standing in front of a wider scene, it's good to have them standing slightly to the left or to the right of the frame. If you are interviewing someone, make sure that they have enough talking space. If they're looking over to the left of the frame, you should move them further to the right of your viewfinder and vice versa, so that they have space to move their head while they are talking without disappearing out of the frame. In fact, the rule of thirds applies here too. A good guideline with close-up shots is to keep your subject's eyes 1/3 of the way down from the top of the frame. Just as with interviews, if people are walking in your shot and you are following them as they move, try to make sure that you leave enough space for them to walk into. If they are walking from right to left, you should keep them more to the right of the frame, so that they have space on the left to walk into. Without that space, they will look as if they are pushing the picture along themselves. Just as when you are filming interviews, Too much headroom here will also look strange. Instead, tilt down slightly and you'll get a far more natural shot when there is only a small amount of space between the top of their head and the top of the frame.